Beauties, welcome back to my channel. If you guys are subscribed, I appreciate and I thank you for all of your support. We're almost at 11,000 subscribers. I'm thinking of doing something really big for my next milestone. Leave in the comment section below, what is the milestone? Is it 15,000 or 20,000? And for those of you that are not a part of the family, make sure you subscribe right now. Hit the notification bell. If you guys hear some talking and stuff like that going on, it is my neighbor. I am at the salon, so yeah, about that. There's a lot of people, because I do so much weave and I do natural hair. People are always curious to know the different types of extensions and things like that. So in this video, I'm gonna break it down to you guys. I'm gonna give you guys pricing. I'm gonna give you guys the maintenance for it. I'm gonna give you a description of what it is and all of that. So if you are interested, then stay tuned and keep watching. So the first type of method I'm gonna tell you guys about is the hot fusion. They also call it keratin bond. It has like a little, so there's like a little U-tip that's like, the tip of it is like a keratin type of bond. And what you do is you attach it individually to each individual strand of hair and you heat it up with like a hot tool. And so the hair types that I recommend, those two are people that have medium density to medium to thick density. There are people with finer hair that can still do it. So with those keratin bonds, you do not want to have any type of oil hit it. And actually what I tell my clients is do not wash your hair for a week when you just get them installed, because it can loosen it up. They're still trying to like, they're too new. It's too new to start washing your hair or rubbing it too much or causing it. You want to have it set in the hair. So in the application time, it just all depends on the stylist. And it depends on the thickness of the person's hair. It can take anywhere from, I would say, 4 to 8 hours maybe. Stylists charge anywhere from $800 to about $1,600 for this type of weave install. The next type of hair extension is called a cold fusion. They also call it microlink, or it can also be I-tip. So with that method, it's basically a ring, a really small ring, and the hair, is just like one strip of hair. There's a I-tip at the tip of it. The I-tip also has like a keratin bond on it as well. That's like a safer way. It gives you the same look as a hot fusion. Only difference is this particular method is not using any type of heat, any type of anything that's damaging to the hair at all. This is maybe the safest way of getting that same. I would still say wait a week to wash your hair, just because you don't want to tamper with it too much. It can still become loose and fall out. And for this particular weaving method, I prefer people usually have a medium density to thick for this one as well, just because when it comes to these type of methods, having fine hair, you'll be able to see right through to the beads, and that's not a good look for anybody. So the outside is a plastic, and then the inside is a silicone, and that's what mainly clamps. So the inside is silicone and the outside is plastic. So I would say about 4 to 7 hours. Like I stated before, it does depend on the client's hair, how thick their hair is. But I would say generally it takes about 4 to 7 hours. This particular method is great for a person with like Afro kinky hair, natural hair, relaxed hair. Anybody that has naturally curly hair, I feel like this particular method is perfect for, just because it grips better. As far as costs go, this is going to be generally about the same as a hot fusion. There's not much of a difference between this and the hot fusion. The only thing is you're not using heat on one and one you are, but the method is the same. So the next method is, I'm sorry guys, I have a cold, so I'm just trying to get past this cold that I have right now. But yeah, so excuse me if I'm sniffling or sounding a little weird. So the next method is called a tape-in. How it is it comes with 2 pieces of hair on like this thin strip, and it has like a little plastic in between it, and you pull it apart, pull off the plastic, and you section off the person's hair, and you sandwich their hair with, you sandwich the client's hair with the tape-ins. And for the tape-ins, what I would say is best, this method is best for people that have more of a finer hair texture and more of a medium hair texture. Because it's a little bit easier to conceal because of how thin it is, and it's like a thin strip of hair. You can't see like any little bonds. So this method is perfect for someone with fine hair or medium density. And with these tape-ins, you do want to avoid any type of water, any type of oil, because with it being so new, that tape has not had time to set. So if you go in there and wash it or fill around with it and put oil and stuff in it, what you're going to do is cause it to start to slip off. And with tape-ins, it usually take about an hour to maybe 2 hours to do. The tape-ins are usually not that long. It doesn't take that long. And tape-ins start at about $200 and can go up to about $400 or $500, depending on how many tape-ins you want and the length of the hair. Okay, and then for the next one is glue-in. So glue-in is mainly, it's like a regular wefted hair that comes in like bundles, and only thing you're doing is doing like a quick weave with it, or some type of glue-in style where you're using a 30-second glue on the track part, and then you just, you know, putting it on the client's cap or on their hair, or however you're styling. And this method can be used with any hair type, but this method is the most damaging. You have to be very careful removing this one because it can cause a lot of hair loss. The maintenance for these is you definitely don't want to put any type of oil, any products or anything like that, because anything can cause these to loosen up. Even sweat can cause hair glue to shift and move, and it's usually a hot mess. So, and it usually takes about an hour to maybe 2 hours to do a glue-in. And for quick weaves, depending on what city, this is all depending on what city you're in and everything. Most quick weaves go for about 50 to about 80 bucks. So next up is sew-in. And sew-in is when the hair is braided down. You usually leave out some type of perimeter. If you guys are interested in some videos on how to do sew-in braid patterns, then make sure you leave that comment below and I'll do a video for that as well. So with the sew-in, only thing you need is a needle and thread, and you're just taking the wefted hair and sewing it through each braid. And that is what a sew-in is. This particular style, I have done it on African American hair as well as Caucasian hair. I believe with this method, it is the safest. If they have fine hair, it may be a little difficult. It just depends on how fine that person's hair is, but you'll find that all out in consultation. And so with the sew-ins, I would say you still want to avoid washing your hair or using any type of greases or anything like that the first day. For someone that's getting this method and they have straight hair, I wouldn't recommend you using any type of grease. In that case, if you are a person that have straight hair and you're getting a sew-in done by me, I usually braid your hair down and I use a leave-in conditioner before I braid it down. I don't use any grease. And your hair should be fine for about a week. If it's feeling like it's getting too oily, then you can go in and use dry shampoo to absorb some of that oil. Otherwise, after a week, you can wash it like regular. There is ways of washing sew-ins. If you guys are interested in seeing videos on how to wash your sew-in, there are some videos on my channel. You can check it out. I'll leave it in the description box below. So for a sew-in, it usually takes about 3 to 4 hours. And this method is also pretty cheap as well. It ranges anywhere from about $75 to $200. It depends on the stylist and location. Not every stylist is the same. Next method, extension method, is clip-ins. The clip-ins are like little clips that you have attached to the hair, the wefted hair. It's usually sewn on to a wefted hair, and you just clip it in where you want to see thickness, or if you want a style that has longer length. With the clip-ins, what you can do is part it, section it off, and then put clip-ins in each of those sections, and you just clip it, snap it on. Clip-ins are also a cheap method. It's very, very temporary. I usually don't suggest a person using that over 2 weeks because it starts to slide and shift, and clip-ins are very, very, very the clip-ins are super temporary, and like I said, you won't be able to get more than 2 weeks out of it. So yeah, for clip-ins, it won't take you longer than an hour. Clip-ins are super, super, super easy, and they usually, if you have a hard time applying it, what you can do is tease the sections too, and then snap the clip-in there. And also, I usually recommend, like, if you're gonna wash your hair, to remove the clip-ins, because clip-ins will fall out. They are not like any of the other ones. They're not that sturdy. Clip-ins usually cost anywhere to about 50 to maybe 150, depending on the stylist. It's usually used for people that have medium density, and they just want to add a little bit more to make it a little bit thicker. And in some cases, people just want a little bit, you know, some more length added. They also call this micro link, but this is, to me, it's more like a beaded weft, where it's a wefted hair. And what you do is you weave out individual strands of the track hair and your actual natural hair, and you use like a tool to pull the bead all the way up and then clamp it in. And this is what holds the track in. It gives you the look of a sew-in, but it's flatter. It's flatter, it doesn't require any braid, but this method is the same type of coverage as a sew-in. I would recommend a person having thick to or medium to thick density in order to get this method done as well. With this one, you also want to avoid any type of like oil or anything like that the first week. Give it a break. You can wash with this. This is the same type of way you would wash the hair if the person had a sew-in. Only difference is it shouldn't take as long to dry it because there is no braid. With this method, you will have all of your hair out. So that's the only way that it's not like the sew-in, because with the sew-in, your hair is completely braided up for the most part. So when you're straightening it and curling it on a regular basis, you definitely want to be mindful of that, because you don't want to damage the hair that is being left out. So you want to find styles that's not going to compromise your hair too much as well. And with this particular style, it only takes about an hour to maybe 2 hours. It's another quick service as well. Depending on where you're located at, stylists charge anywhere from about $200 to maybe $400. So that is it for this video. If you guys have any further questions and you want me to go more in detail with the different methods, or if you guys just want to know more about weave, please leave that down in the comment section below. Like I said before, if you are not subscribed, make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit the notification bell, share this video with somebody that don't know about the different methods, or help somebody out that's looking for a weave and they're kind of undecided and don't really know where to go and what type of method they want. So help that person out, because they might need you. Make sure you guys share this video, share it. If you guys are on Instagram, go and follow your girl at Jus'Marie _hair studio. I'm on Instagram. And yeah, so I will see you guys next time.